Hello, I'm Chard Gibson. I run a company called SECAura. We're based in Dunblane near Stirling. And I'd like to talk to you today about these phones. These are IP phones, and we've just been talking about internet access. In fact, Jerry saved the day for me because the wireless system in here wasn't able to cope with these phones, but we've plugged into this mobile broadband and it has worked a treat. So well done, Jerry, thank you. These phones, as I say, operate over the internet, and calls are made and received in exactly the same way as you would normally make and receive a call. Pick up the phone, dial a number. However, there's where things change, because these phones, because you can plug them into the broadband, can be plugged into broadband anywhere. And that can be at your house, in your office, or in India. It doesn't matter to the phone. The phone communicates back to a computer somewhere in England. It's based as a BT wholesale platform, so it's industry standard equipment. This isn't a backroom system, this is enterprise class. And it will work just as well with one phone as 20,000 phones. Now, the traditional way of using phone systems in offices is to buy a box that you bolt to the wall, then you plug in a load of phone lines. And if you want to expand the system, well, what do? You have to buy more phone lines or buy more capacity on the phone system. With this system, you simply buy another phone and pay for another line, in pretty much the same way as you would with a mobile phone. But the phone system is fully joined together. Not only is it joined together in the way that this phone can dial this phone as an internal transfer, but your computer has a taskbar on the top of your Outlook or on the top of your Internet Explorer, and allows you to dial directly from your computer to the phone. So what happens is you click Phone George and your phone rings, bring bring, pick it up, and it's ringing a remote caller. It's as simple as that. But there's a lot of complexity hidden behind the system. It can do full hunt groups, it can do departmental transfers, it can do all the sort of things that you'd normally do. I've prepared a number of different studies which you can take a look at later. There's, if you like, a standalone office, how do I make the best of what my system is? A multi-site scenario where you've got offices split up at different locations, and a home worker where you maybe don't want to invest in so much equipment, but you've got to keep the costs down, but keep the connectivity, because somebody working at home is a lot cheaper than paying for a place in an office. So I'll give you a brief demonstration. First, if we dial from a mobile phone onto the system, so I make a call and the call comes in on this handset. You can do all the normal stuff and transfer to extensions, etc. So that's ringing that phone individually. So it does ring through, and you can change on the toolbar what the diverts are, so that you can actually have in your office a scenario, say you're going into a meeting and you've got an important client that's going to ring, but you don't want to take any other calls. Well, you can go into the toolbar and say, accept calls from this person only, click. And only those calls will go through. Or you can say for something like, I don't, as a business, want to accept any calls that are from unidentified numbers, because as we all know, they tend to be from call centres, tend to be sales calls that maybe you don't want to waste your time with. So you can just say, don't take any calls from an unidentified number. It will then go to a voice message to inform the caller of that, so that the caller is then aware that the reason they haven't got through is that their number has not appeared in the system, giving them the opportunity to call back from a phone that is identified. As you can appreciate, this sort of system is extremely complex in what it can do, but it's extremely simple in its actual use. When transferring from an existing phone system, let's say you're moving office and you want to take those phones and move them onto a new site, what you can do is simply we'll take the number, we'll put it onto our system, and we can put it onto a phone or a group of phones, and when you move office, it's entirely transparent. You literally unplug your phone, plug it into the new broadband, and the job's done. It really is as easy as that. I mean, this is part of my office phone system. It's as simple as that. So the call costs, and I think the costs are something that people always say, oh well, this sounds expensive. One of these sort of phones is about £100, and that's fairly cheap for corporate level phones. This phone, which does lots of singing and dancing things, is nearly £300, but there's everything in between. We can also use something called ATA adapters, and all they are is a system of joining the internet phone to an existing handset, so that you can take a fax machine or a cordless handset or any of these sort of devices and simply plug them into the same system, keeping it all totally transparent, and all you need to do is pay for that little bit of kit, and it will all just join together.